Hallelujah.
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 Shall we shalom lechem?
Shalom lechem.
Giving our praises to the Holy One of Israel for blessing us with the beautiful gift of life. Let us sing the praise of Yah as we sing the song that I want to first will tell.
The heavens declare it, our glory is now. The earth and those on earth our God of creation, of their glory. Moving with the and when we cry out for the wind of thy mercies, thou sendest thy angel to show us the way, to bring us
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shemuel, Bakasha. Continuing and giving praises to the Holy One of Israel. At this time, I'd like to open up the Psalm service. For every regular Shabbat, our Psalms are the 79th Psalm, Psalms 121, Psalms 124, and Psalms 148. I will allow persons to volunteer, 2 men, 2 women, volunteer the reading of these Psalms at this time. Okay, we have our own Psalm 79, Zadik Psalms 121, Naomi Psalms 124, and Maria Psalms 148. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's welcome our young brother Aaron.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Psalm 79. O Yah, the heathens are coming to thy inheritance. They have defiled thy holy temple. They have made Jerusalem into heaps.
They have given the dead bodies of thy servants to be food unto the fowls of the heavens, the flesh of thy holy ones unto the beasts of the earth.
They have shed their blood like water round about Jerusalem with none to bury them.
We are become a taunt to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us.
How long, O Yah, will thou be angry forever? How long will thy jealousy burn like fire?
Pour out thy wrath upon the nations that know thee not, and upon the kingdoms that call not upon thy name.
For they have devoured Yaakov and laid waste his habitation.
Remember not against us the iniquities of our forefathers. Let thy compassion speedily come to meet us, for we are brought very low.
Help us, O Yah, our power of our salvation, for the sake of the glory of thy name, and deliver us and forgive our sins for thy name's sake.
Wherefore should the nations say, where is their power? Let the avenging of thy servants' blood that is shed be made known among the nations in our sight.
Let the groaning of the prisoner come before thee, according to the greatness of thy power. Set free those that are appointed to death.
And render unto our neighbors sevenfold into their bosom their reproach wherewith they have reproached thee, O Yah.
So we that are thy people in the flock of thy pasture will give thee thanks forever, and will tell of thy praise to all generations.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom again.
Shabbat shalom.
We're giving thanks to the supreme intellect, the power of our ancient forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Thanking him for waking us all up this morning to come out here, allowing me to see another year alive, and allowing us to come out and praise his high and holy name. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Zadik Psalms 121.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Mitzvah.
I lift up mine eyes unto the mountains, and whence shall my help come?
My help cometh from Jehovah, who made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth, he will not stumble.
Behold, he that keepeth Israel doth neither slumber nor sleep.
Jehovah is thy keeper. Jehovah is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night.
Jehovah shall keep thee from all evil. He shall keep thy soul.
Jehovah shall guard thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and forever.
I just want to say, Surah Yah for allowing me to be alive, allowing all of you to be alive, allowing Aharon to see another year of life, and allowing all of us to see many more years of life. And I thank you, Yah, for all things and everything. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 124 for Naomi. Bapora, my sister.
If it had not been for Yehovah who was for us, let Yisrael not say.
If it had not been Jehovah who was for us, when men rose up against us,
Then they had swallowed us up alive. Then their wrath was kindled against us.
Then the waters had overwhelmed us, the streams had gone over our souls.
Then the proud waters had gone over our soul.
Blessed be Yahuwah, who hath not given us the break their teeth.
Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped.
Our help is in the name of Yahuwah, who made heaven and earth.
I just want to say Toda Yah for waking us up this morning and allowing us to be here this day and for giving us so many chances even though we did very little to deserve it. And I'm Toda Yah for allowing me to see all of your beautiful faces today.
Hallelujah.
The final Psalms for Berea, Ishet Queen Elia. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 148. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise ye Jehovah from the heavens. Praise him in the highest.
Praise him, all his angels. Praise him, all his hosts.
Praise ye him, sun and moon. Praise him, all ye stars of light.
Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters are above the heavens.
Let them praise the name of Jehovah, for he commanded, and they were created.
He hath also established them forever and ever. Yet made a decree which shall not be transgressed.
Praise Jehovah from the earth, ye sea monsters, and all deep.
Fire and hail, snow and vapor, stormy wind fulfilling his words.
Mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars.
Beasts and all cattle, creeping things and winged fowl.
Kings of the earth and all peoples, princes and all judges of the earth.
Both young men and maidens, old men and children.
Let them praise the name of Jehovah, for his name alone is exalted.
Amen.
His glory is above the earth and heaven.
And he hath built a horn for his people, a praise for all his holy ones, even for the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Hallelujah.
A befitting song, because I have so much to praise the Creator for. First and foremost for life and everyone's life here. And for me being able to see you all healthy and alive and doing good, looking good, eating good, smelling good, all that stuff, like dressing good. That is a blessing. You know? I thank the Creator for my travels here, for protecting me along my travels, allowing me to come here and see my Ish still in one piece. Thank you all for taking care of him. For taking care of him and his health. Just thanking the Creator for how He's watched over me during the separation between my Ish and I. Yeah, just backtracking in my mind and stuff like that. Just thanking the Creator for watching over me each and every day that I was in Guyana. Not alone, but alone doing things on my own, you know, and living in the house by myself and all of those things like that. We can all imagine the many things that can go wrong in situations like that. But I've been very blessed, and I understand and also realize that, you know, sometimes we may get sad when we're separated from our loved ones, separated, quote unquote, but I saw that and was shown by the Creator that was a time to allow me to grow personally and allow my Ish to grow personally, because the growth that we both have gone through could not have been done with us living together. Okay? So separation in a positive manner between husband and wife and family members and stuff like that can be for the greater good. Because even with me coming back to see my Ish and reuniting with him and just talking with him during our time away, you know, over the phone and, FaceTime, all those different technologies they have today, you can see and hear the growth and see, you know, the growth that has happened between the two of us personally. And so what happens is that allows you to come together and be better as a unit when you go through your own personal growth, and that cannot be done unless you are separated from one another. So just take that into mind. Don't always miss. You can miss your loved ones, but grow. Use that time for your own growth and development as well. Don't be so busy. Oh, I miss it. No, use that time for your growth and development, and the Creator will cause the other party to grow and develop also. So I thank the Creator for allowing me to even have eyes to not only see my growth, but the growth of my Ish. I mean, when he was away from me, he became a co-parent. I mean, that's not growth or what, you know? Hallelujah. So I thank the Creator for that. I thank the Creator for all things and everything. And once again, to come here and see the family, everybody in such good spirits, and to be greeted with nothing but love, and like I feel like I just came on in and just, I don't know the place, I went in there and started seasoning my food like I've been here forever, and you know, it's just like, you're home, you're here, okay, get into action, or you know, fall in line or rise into place, just get in here and just be a part of the family. And like I said, I'm thankful for being able to be here safely, and Torah for all things and everything. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, the Most High, for all the psalmists. May the Most High continue to bless our youth with that desire to want to, you know, praise His high and most majestic name. Thank you, the Most High, for being with the Pope Berea. As she said, being in another country separated from her Ish, you know, the Most High giving her that protection. It's always something that we should never take for granted, but we should reflect on and be truly thankful. At this time, I'd like to ask you to join me in standing as we sing a few songs of praise to the Holy One of Israel. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The honor of standing. Let us sing a few songs giving praise to the power of this universe. Truly God is great. He's awesome. To have this opportunity just to sing and praise His name is a wonderful thing. Let us open our voices, open our mouths, that is, raise our voices and praise to the King of this universe. Let us sing the song Jerusalem. Did we sing that this morning?
No, we did not.
All right.
We didn't sing
Jerusalem
anything.
on page 2 in our song book. Okay, we're singing the song. Yeah, they're live in this place up. All right. By the rivers of Babylon, yeah, we sat down and we cried. When we remember Jerusalem, that we were taking out every time. If I forget Jerusalem, then I go my own land. Jerusalem, Let us sing a song that we rarely sing. The song My Time.
That's my song.
On page 4 in our song. Get your song book out. Is it up on the screen? Oh. It is. Some of these songs that we rarely sing, we need to learn the words to them. Because these are truly songs giving praise to the Creator of this universe. The song My Time found on page 4 on this book, maybe on another page in your song book. My time, my time, my time. Yahuwah, makes me new. My time, my time, my time. Yahuwah, my time, my time, my time. The Bible did not know me. My time, my time, my time. Yahuwah, Holy Hallelujah. Let us sing one other song for now. The song calls Israel to Stand on page 5 in our songbook. Here are we now because of thy goodness. For our soul we commit to thy hand. Help us please for thou promise thou Father. Thou would once more for this world goodness. Thou would help us to stand in thy glorious name. Thou would help us to stand and erase all our shame. And thy mercy and light was throughout all the land. By the power of thy promise, God, Lord, Israel will stand. We have thought that our God and for God's hand. As we pray, the enemy's land. But he sends forth the angel of glory. Lord, he gave us the Spirit to stand. Thou wilt help us to stand in thy glorious name. Thou wilt help us to stand and erase all our shame. Send thy mercy and light forth throughout all the land. By the power of thy promise, God, for Israel to stand. Thou wilt help us to stand in thy glorious name. Thou wilt help us to stand and erase all our shame. Send thy mercy and light forth throughout all the land. By the power of thy promise, God, for Israel to stand. Thou wilt help us to stand in thy glorious name. Thou wilt help us to stand and erase all our shame. Send thy mercy and light forth throughout all the land. By the power of thy promise, God, for Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You may be seated.
This afternoon, what I want to do is a lot of sessions dealing with your participation, as against just giving information. Because you know that we are very well informed, and as well you have so much that you want to share with, with us as a collective. One of the things I want to do is probably do a question and answer period, a quick question and answer period. so that persons that have any questions that they can do so. But I would like to tie the question and answer period into probably the trip to Israel, because we had quite a few persons that were there for the first time. So if they can even share their experiences, that, you know, we have in this room, we had about 30 youths that were presently that were there for the first time. So I don't know who wants to. I would like the persons that went to Israel, I'm going to call you individually, and for you to give us your experience. For example, I want to call on Galiel. So let's welcome Galiel.
Trip to Israel was good. It's a good experience to me.
No, you know.
Alright, so I went to the boardwalk in Balaq, and I had a lot of attention because they thought I was a rapper. So yeah, if you hear a lot of people say Quavo, it's an inside joke, I guess, because in Israel I got a lot of attention because they thought I was a rapper. So yeah, Shabbat Shalom.
You have a question from back when Zado?
Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm ecstatic that you got to go, but you know I'm going to ask you a question. What stood out to you the most? What was the greatest thing in this experience?
Hell yeah, Faye about to be running today.
What stood out to you the most?
Jerusalem stood out to me the most.
Why?
Because in Jerusalem there's a lot of different quarters, the Jewish quarter, the Christian quarter, and the Arabic quarter. And we went through all of them. Well, I didn't go to the Christian quarter, but I got to see how they, how the Arabics, they do their phases during the day and everything in their quarter, and it was nice. Even though that's not our culture, but it was cool to experience another culture, because it was very nice. So, yeah.
Okay, Kazio, Vakusha.
My experience in Israel was good too. I was with them. We went to the boardwalk. I didn't get as much attention to see this, but it was fun.
Just like Quintalo asked a question, what stood out? What was the high point of your trip? Your favorite place, whatever?
High point of my trip, probably going to the Moreh, the Village of Peace, on Shabbat. Seeing it's not the same as communities here, like us, or communities you would go to like within the States. We went and it was set up like you guys are up top and everybody was just up around, and we all read Hebrew, the men and the women, and what else? They broke down the portion. They had questions. If anybody had questions, they answered it. It was just good to see in the Holy Land how different they do it, and not even going on Shabbat. I think we went to Dimona the day before that, and they're just the way how everybody's just in that community. It kind of reminds me of Kifar, but it's just a lot bigger. They had Snap. They had like shops where you could buy clothes, buy ice cream. It's like they had like the little mini market inside. So it was just good to see. They had basically just they just own community with all the stuff they had. They really didn't need to go outside of the Village of Peace to get anything they needed, because everything was just right there. So it was just good to see them.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So we have a question.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Did you meet any young teenagers your age there, and did you strike up some type of Can't hear?
I asked him, did he meet any teenagers his age, and were they able to strike up a conversation where they could keep in touch in the future?
Basically, you meet a nice
Hey, actually, on Shabbat, I forgot the
Not the one on the board.
He had,
It's Delilah.
oh, we met a man named Cohen Eliram, and he had 2 sons and a daughter. The sons were about one of the sons were about my age, and the other one was like 21. So we exchanged numbers, and those are about the only kids I know that we actually exchanged numbers. But other than that, we talked to some other kids our age, but we didn't get to exchange numbers.
All right, Total Rabban.
Got a question?
Question? Okay, Slika.
Very much.
Shabbat Shalom. This is also either both Galileo or Cosio. What was your experience and what did you think about Egypt?
Mm-hmm. Doom, doom, doom.
Alright, so for Egypt, for me, I really like it because I got sick from the food. So, but it's crazy because the roads and everything, there's no stoplights, no lines to separate the lanes. So basically,
right here, right up.
like if you have an Autobahn, like where there's no speed limit on the highway or anything, that's what it was. And basically, you want a motorcycle out there so you can maneuver through because there's traffic all the time. So
24 hours a day.
I didn't get shit either, so
I gotta wait some stuff.
it was definitely like you said. It was the city of. It's really wild as far as like the roads and stuff because there's no control. A lot of traffic. Like when we went, when we were coming into Egypt on the bus, we were looking out and we came in at nighttime, and we would just see it was crazy. You had people walking with their kids through, like nobody was stopping nobody. It's very crazy and hectic. And the places that we went, like we went to go see the pyramids, the views, not even in Egypt, just everywhere that we went, the different cities throughout Israel, the views are beautiful. I took a lot of pictures. We went to see the pyramids in Egypt, the museum, and the Sphinx. So there was a lot of different sites that we were right there on the projector. There's a lot of different sites in Egypt that we saw. So as far as my experience, I like Egypt. It was very hot too. We were over there. A lot of people, like my auntie said earlier, they were trying to sell me stuff. You had to negotiate prices. People wanted to take your pictures. Like I had some guy come up to me. He was like, let me take your picture, And I'm like, no thank you. And then he kept begging me. I was like, all right, just let me take your picture. He was like, can I have a little something for it? I was like, you should. I'm bus. So yeah, Egypt was fun. I like it.
3 people on that day.
All right, yes, another question?
Question, Kazi or Shabbat
But,
did you get called any like the other famous people like Ali?
No, unfortunately not. I did not. A lot of people thought he was Playboy, so he just had all the shine. I was talking to some other people. There, that's that.
Keep it as general as possible.
Okay. Shabbat
I'd
Shalom.
like to hear from Malkiel, because I know Malkiel went to Israel. This is, I think, maybe your second time. You went when you were a baby, so you don't really remember.
Right,
He's older now, so I'd like to hear his experience from
Okay. Total Rabban.
Shabbat Shalom. My experience was great. It was nice to see like how everyone was like functioning in order where like so I felt like okay
Gather your thoughts.
So,
Take your time.
So in a couple places, like Ella and Tel Aviv, it's like they've grown so much. It's like Charlotte, like, where people say restaurants, saying like sing.
Building houses.
Tell them how you got lost.
Yeah. Bring that up.
Well, we thought you was lost.
So in Petra, so when we were like walking in the canyon, we went all the way like to the end and saw like the place. No, not that. We went to the place where they filmed the Indiana Jones movie. And then, when it was time to go back, these two asked me if I wanted to...
Get the account
Asked me
straight.
if I wanted to come with them to go back. I said yes. And then we were like halfway, they asked me, did I ask my Abby to come? I was like, no. And then they all concerned with me. Then Kyle finally caught up with us. And like, everyone was looking all the way over with you. Where were you? And I was like, I was with them.
Got that my coat.
Finally got back to the start point, and everyone was so mad at me because I told no one, and they were spending like 15-30 minutes looking for me.
What did your daughter pay you?
Whoa, that taka.
She punched me. She punched me till I couldn't take it anymore.
Quick clarification, we were already on our way. He asked us, he was like, can I come with y'all? And then we said yes. We didn't ask him, so yeah. He was good. He was with me, Kavio, and Moreh, so he was alright.
But his Abba didn't know. That's
his Abba didn't know.
Alright, so we have Fort Zahira, Rakisha.
It was far. That was he could have ducked off anywhere. He could have ducked off anywhere.
Have the baby, so I'm sensitive. I really enjoyed Israel. I had a great time, Israel and Egypt. I think the best part of it was it really made the Tanakh come alive for me. We took a drive up Mount Tabor.
Yeah,
that was the mount where Deborah and Barak went to go fight against Sisera. We took a boat ride on the Nile River. I was in the Jordan River. I believe he said that we passed the Red Sea? Yeah. Okay. I believe he said that we even passed Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And then the same road that we took into Egypt was the same road that the children of Israel took coming out of Egypt. Yes. So it was just all those little experiences that made it a great trip. Egypt was good. I didn't get sick, fortunately, but the pyramids are beautiful. I got to climb on the pyramids. I got great pictures of the Sphinx. Oh yeah, I went on a hike on David's mountain where he wrote a lot of his songs and stuff. So it was just a great trip, a great experience, and it gave me chills just being able to sit or just be in all of these places that we constantly read about. So that was honestly the best part of my trip.
Okay, I'm glad she said all that. So in the Tanakh, we know that we were led out a certain way all the way till we got into Jordan. They call it Jordan now, but it was actually the east side of Jordan. So now, you driving, right? You see all of this property from Egypt all the way up into Israel. And of course, we know our foreparents murmured, cried, and gave the Creator, you know, a thorn in his side, so to speak. What's your perspective, not just Zahira, but anybody's perspective who traveled the Sinai Peninsula into Eilat, all the way up into Dimona? What was that eyesight, and what were your thoughts going through that terrain?
You don't have a talk. Let her talk.
No. Corn chicken.
Pick out here?
No, I don't want to.
No, she each gets to go.
It was Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Israel is like, it's always spiritually, I connect with that land. Every time I have to leave, I get very, very sad. Just being there, I just visualize them journeying through that land, even from Egypt to Israel. I was like, wow, they journeyed a long way. And they had to walk with the children and a camel and a cattle. And I just visualized the entire thing, just watching them walking those mountains. I mean, they just went like this, and I just visualized the entire thing. And it was a sight to behold, just the land, the landscape, the mountains. You have to see it with your own eyes. It's an amazing sight. It's something you would never think that you would have seen in your life. It's beautiful, beautiful land. And like I said, every time I have to leave, I always get very sad. A spirit come on me, but when I enter that land, a high spirit, I connect with that land. It's something about that land that I truly connect with Israel. And I pray that one day I can move there. All of you will be coming to visit me in that land.
You getting there alone?
Oh no. I pray y'all hear my words and that become a blessing and something that come into fruition, because that is my goal, to live in Israel. Amen. Especially Dimona. I love Dimona.
Shabbat Shalom, family. So I did hear that some of y'all were murmuring on the bus when the air conditioning went out. So anybody want to relate that to the children wanting to break buses?
Show us that. Show us that's not true.
You feel bad about murmuring for 3 hours knowing they wanted for 40 years?
Hey, shalom. You know, the beautiful part about that land is like, have a seat. The beautiful part about that land is when you walk, time we came out of the airport, it's like the air and the land engulfed you. It's like the land was saying, welcome back. Just like the Kavya said, the land is so intriguing. And when you see the thing, I've been reading for a bunch of years. And I've always been seeing the land, but when you go there and then you see like Gilgal, you see Meholah, you see all these, En-Gedi, you see all these things. I know, and it's like, when you see these places, when we were up in the land of Naphtali, when they said, they call it the Sea of Galilee. That's here of late, it's the Sea of Kinneret. And when you up there, I mean, and you look out over all these places, when they told you about aloes, when we read about the aloes today, they showed you, Aisha stood by an aloe plant, and that aloe plant was taller than Maisha. I said, now that's an aloe, not those little things we get here. But you know, when you get in the land, you could feel the land. And I mean like the hills, the mountains, the hills. When they say stone them, it's easy. Yeah. It is easy. I mean, the guy told us, he says, if a pack of dogs run at you, just bend down and pick up a rock. I mean, the land is like so alive, and the land agrees with your spirit. And that's what I got, because when we went from the north to the south, I would have rather gone from the south to the north, but that was okay too. Egypt was a different story, because I only had to spend like a few hours in Egypt just to see the pyramids and the Sphinx, and then head north to Israel. You know, but when we were like in Eilat, you got to Eilat, it's a modern city, and it's in the land of Judah. But see, I wanted to just see the whole land. And I was so intrigued, because when you go and you walk through Old Jerusalem, those are the places where our forefathers walked. You understand? When you saw Gilgal, that was the first place after we crossed the Jordan. That's the first place we stopped. You understand? When you see this land and you see the mountains, I mean, there's a range of mountains, and then in back of there's a range of mountains, and then back of that there's a range of mountains. When he showed you the mountains of Moab, on the other side of those mountains, that was the valley of Moab, where we were, what we read about today. That's where Balaq was looking down on the children of Israel. You understand? On the other side of those mountains. When you saw the mountains of Carmel, that's where Elisha cursed those children. See, as you be in that land, all of these things that you have read, they come to life. And then when you travel those roads, most of those roads were king's highways. That's how they made the roads in those places. They were the king's roads, and that's where the merchants traveled. When you go to Old Jerusalem, you see these merchants. You're walking through cobblestone streets. And I mean, it's like, wow. Jeremiah walked in here. I mean, it's like, when you see it, you believe it. You know it for sure. And when you've been reading it for so many years, you've always been seeing these places. But when you're on the land, you actually know it. Like when I said, we was up in the land of Naphtali, then right across was the land of Dan, then there was Zebulun, closer to the Mediterranean. See, we were all over when we were all over those places, you see the land. You feel the land. In the mountains, you could dig gold out. That's why I want to go on an archaeological dig. I want to dig me out some gold. I want to dig me out diamonds. Blessed be y'all. Because he gave me and my Isha the opportunity to be there. And then, you know, like she's sitting by the window. Oh, look at that. I went to sleep. Especially after the bus got hot. I said, if these children of Israel can't take 45 minutes of heat, what would you have done in 40 years? That's right. That's right. Thank God he had the cloud over us. Because that sun was not jiving. See, everybody else was getting burnt. I was roasting. I roast. My skin's so oily, it doesn't burn. It just roasts gently. And then you know what you do? You know what you do? If you want to really roast? See, but being there, and I mean, the heat engulfs you, it just wraps around you. They say get children, not when we were there. At night, the temperature went down so nicely. And the Salt Sea is no joke. Right? Netanyahu?
Indeed.
He floated all the way out, and there was a bush out in the middle of the sea. He floated out there, and all you have to do is get on your back. The water will not let you sink. You come out, and you have this glistening sheen on your skin. Look at that. See that? See that? I mean, you all know, see, pictures cannot tell you the things that you see and the way you feel. The land gives you a feeling, it really does. See, and I know I'm supposed to be there. See, I know when those Judites were taken out, I was one of the royalty. I knew that. Because when I walked through the old streets of Jerusalem, I felt a crown. Shabbat shalom.
Doc, wait.
Questions?
Shabbat shalom.
I would like to ask Shakira this question, because I know she traveled with Uziah's group, and she's also traveled with the Birthright group. And I would like to know the difference, where they went, and how did it feel, the experience with being with a lot of Jews. What did you do? You know, that's what I would like to know.
They a bunch of freaks. That's what they are. They a bunch of freaks.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I had a great time. I actually was in Israel this past May. A lot of people don't know about that. But I went on a birthright trip. It was really nice. Again, to all the young ones that's in the age group, I think 18 and now 32. They moved the age up to 32. 18 to 32, you can take a free trip to Israel. I went with the Birthright group. Went on a Israel Outdoors program, and we did a lot. I mean, of course, pretty much the entire trip was geared towards the Jewish concept of everything, but it was also an opportunity to see the land, which I was definitely grateful for, and I got to see a lot of different things that I didn't see the first time when I went with Uziah 2 years ago. We did some really amazing things. We rafted on the Jordan River. I rode camels. I went to, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Put me on the spot. Oh, yeah, we were in the city of Sfat, and we went, there's an underground city as well in one area. So we got to go through, I guess, some cave-like things. I took a short video while I was down there, but it was great. They had the springs, different springs and little wells that were underground. It was really nice to see. We went to Jerusalem, of course, some of the main locations, the Western Wall. We went to some Jewish temple. I can't remember the name right now. And we spent a lot of the first few nights that we were there. We were in, was it? No, that was when we were in Sfat. And the city of Sfat is like, it's known as a holy, one of the 4 holy temples. Jerusalem is one, Sfat, and there are 2 other ones that, don't worry, ask me later, I remember them. But it was really nice getting to talk with the other people that were on the group with me. So me being 26, I was one of the older ones in the group. And they were like, "Ooh, you're like a grandma." And I was like, "Whatever, I'm younger than all of y'all," at heart. But it was funny because, of course, with most of those trips, you're on the trip with a lot of lamanim, a lot of white individuals, and it's funny because after talking to me, they realized that they said she's more Jew than we are. which was kind of funny because out of most of them, even though I'm not fluent in Hebrew, I still knew Hebrew, and they were like, "You know how to read it? Like, what does that say?" Like, they were asking me some of the signs and things like that, which was very interesting. And then on Shabbat, we had different Shabbat rituals and things like that, and they had Shabbat Seder, and they had songs and things like that in Hebrew and English. Of course, I didn't really know all the Hebrew, but they gave us like this little booklet, and it was excellent songs. The songs are beautiful songs. But after we went through like our Shabbat, you know, routine or whatever, then everybody had their own little free individual time. They do Shabbat a lot different than we. They don't do Shabbat pretty much. So they just go about it and go and do their own things. Let's go out. Let's go have fun. Let's go play tag and hide and seek. That's what they're doing. But I was just in my own corner, you know, break my fat. Anyways, but it was still a great experience because I learned about them. And I also got to see the land in a different light as well, which it was still great. It's just you have to have a certain state of mind, and make sure that you're strong-minded, because anywhere you go, I mean, you have temptation to do whatever you want. I'm on this trip, only Israelite on this trip, experiencing it in a different light. And I have the opportunity to do whatever I want. But even like when you go away to college, I mean, just having that state of mind and really focusing and remembering who you are, and they notice those things. So our guide, our Israeli tour guide, he was asking me a bunch of questions, really just getting to know me and trying to understand, oh, how did you learn Hebrew? How did you learn this? How did you learn that? Tell me about your family. Because, well, I think there's two reasons why everybody learned my name, because they were like, Shakira, and they started singing the song. And the bus driver even played the song. I heard the song like 20 times while on this trip. I kid you not. Everybody just decided, oh, play a song. But also because I was the only black person. I think that's two reasons why they learned my name out of everybody else. But it was really great. It was really great. And also, another interesting thing that we did, we had Partnership Day, which was amazing because that gave us the opportunity to go. We had 6 Israelis that were in that age group that were in our group with us. And they stayed with us the whole time. And on Partnership Day, we got to go to their family. They split us up in different groups, 4 different groups. And we went to their homes and got to talk with their family, their mother, their father, their brothers or sisters if they had any. And that was an amazing day. Besides doing that and learning about their family, we also learned about the different, we went to a school, an elementary school, and they put on a show for us, and it was really nice to see the young ones, because English isn't their first language, but they're all required to learn English because English is a very important language around the world. And so they were, trying to practice their English with us there, and it was just a really amazing experience. I had a really great time. Again, talk to me, talk to anybody that went on the birthright trip. We'll help you through all the process of getting on it, but definitely go on it if you can, if you're eligible.
Brother Rabah, take one side of the question.
Okay, I think they didn't answer my question. I heard they were murmuring on the bus, so I just wanted to reiterate my question.
I understand your question. I can answer it. If I was back in there, I would murmur.
Why?
It was hot. I mean, I'm from Guyana, tropics, but I could not understand how the wind was hot. The wind is blowing, but it's hot wind. I didn't understand. I would murmur.
It's a different type of hot.
Yeah.
It's not like this hot here. This is not hot.
Like we were saying about the murmuring, we don't condone it, but we understand. It's really hot. Yeah, you carry on.
Shabbat Shalom. I just want to take a minute and thank the people, family of Charlotte for looking over my Iman Abu while I was over there. It
was a pleasure.
Nothing but high things about everybody, from the youth to the oldest, you know what I mean? And I just say thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
You're most welcome. And you know, if I didn't look after Iman, she'll give me another mapper, so. Yeah, it was beautiful to have the elders. You know, it's a lot of walking, etc., but we tried the best to accommodate them along the way. So it was a blessing to have them. I was able to take him up to the hotel, the Western Wall, and you know, it was a beautiful experience for him. So that was beautiful. See a hand here? Someone question? Yes.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is a question for everyone. What was your favorite place and why?
Okay. A few persons answered. A few persons answered. Let's go to yeah. And we have our sister Daniela that's hiding somewhere. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. I can't say that there was one favorite place because this was my first excursion of this magnitude. There were a favorite place everywhere along the route. But the two things that stood out for me when we were leaving the Living Sea, which is what they call the Dead Sea, they call it the Living Sea, the Live Sea. When we were leaving there and we passed by Lot's wife, and she's still there. She was staring at us and telling us welcome and then farewell. Supposedly, yeah, there she go right there. But now as you leave her, and if you are really looking at the mountains, like I said, a lot of us been to Asheville. Who's been to Asheville up in the mountains? You ain't seen no mountains.
That's right.
Who's ever been to the beach? You seen sand? You haven't seen any sand until you look out into a desert. Now that's a lot of sand. For no reason. A lot of sand. Okay? But as you leave her, you're passing by mountains. Now I was almost like, you know how you see children riding the bus, they're going someplace special and they pinned up to the window because they're looking out the window? That's how I was leaving because I started noticing pillars that belong to structures. I started noticing staircases that went into the wall or into a sand dune and retention walls. And I'm saying, there was something here. There was a city here. Now everybody else was on the bus. And I'm like, don't y'all see this? Wait, come, y'all are not looking at what we came to see. So apparently we were in the area of Sodom. So that could have been what I was seeing, could have been part of the city that was under a sheet of rock. No, it was a sheet of rock because it was kind of like jagged out into the air, but it was like one giant plate of rock just slammed down on whatever this is. Then there were certain parts of the desert that looked like we wasn't still on Earth. And I was like, did we cross into another planet? Yeah. Or whatever. But the biggest thing that stood out to me was when we had to get off the bus in Israel with our luggage, with our elders, and walk, not from here to the corner, from here to the highway, I'll say, 77. Rolling luggage. Boy, that was an exodus of 46 people.
It was about that.
And I stood in the street just to watch it because it almost felt like a movie. You know, it was like, could you imagine 3,550 people before the border existed? But all these people trekking across. You got your elders, you got your young, you got the animals, you got pregnant women. It was just jaw-dropping, and I don't think that I will ever forget this experience, and I give big kudos to Uzia and Kenya. I mean, when we got to Egypt and we got the police escort in the front and the back of the bus, I didn't know whether to be scared or act like a dignitary. But I know when we pulled up and we got off the bus and the chief of police was standing there with the Glock 9 on his hip. They had the little, what's that little military truck with the machine gun on the back with the guys sitting up, not a tank, it was an open truck, and the guy was sitting on the back with the machine gun. Ready? We get off the bus, you got the guy standing there with the M16. I was like, okay. Humvee. The Humvee, right. I was like, okay, maybe this is serious. But I will say the people in Egypt are quite paranoid. So be careful when you go.
Egypt, Jordan, Israel.
Oh, and they will look at you strange. Because they look at you like, what you doing here? Right. And I mean, not just a look to look and say like, what you doing here? They looking like, what you doing here? You know, so I was looking back like, why you here? Because, and if you don't know the language, I heard a lady call us a kappa. And I turned around and said, Slika? She's like, ooh, no, yeah. You didn't know that I knew what you said. So now bite your tongue, swallow your spit, and step on.
One last question, and anybody can answer it. I heard several of you say that people told y'all welcome home, and I want to know how did that feel and who said it, where were you?
We heard it everywhere where there weren't Jewish people. The Jewish people were quite aggressive most often. It was nothing for them to walk past you and physically like push past you.
Shemuel was in a fight.
Oh yeah, share his story. He almost had a fight in Haifa. Just outrageously rude and unwelcoming. A lot of them. That's the way they are. So you would hear the Arabs mostly say "Welcome home." Egypt, they were saying "Welcome home." I found that Haifa was unreal. It was like you were on a movie set. I swear, that's the only thing I could make believe, put together movie set. Petra was unbelievable. It was like walking through a mini Grand Canyon and then you walk out into this Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones thing, unbelievable. And along the way, they're like, hello, brown sugar, buy this, make my day. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Selling you something, they sell it to you and then run back up and try to sell it to you again. This is Petra, unbelievable. These pictures are crazy. That's not even like, it was like orange. It was orange. Unbelievable. And then there was some tight places, some open places. There were caves. Just how the weather carved it out. I don't even know how it came into existence. It was just unbelievable. So you could walk down there, or you can take one of these buggies to get down there, or you can ride on the back of a horse. Galileo rode a horse down there. So a lot of walking, a lot of dust. Yep, Galileo. Fuego. Yeah, so that was beautiful. That's the Temple of Doom. We went there. That's when Malkiel decided that he was going to walk back with the kids by himself. He was going crazy looking for Malkiel around there. But one of my favorite places if I had to live was Eli. It was like straight Miami. So it was beautiful. So I loved Eli. Yeah. So we had a great time. I swear, Shay, if those kids didn't start talking, I was going to question the thousands of dollars we spent to When Kazio stood up and they were like, well, we were like, what? How much money we spent to go there? They better start talking. But yeah, it was amazing. Only because there's no other word to say. You can't. There's no other word to say. With all the little challenges we had with the bus, I was a murmurer, admittedly. I knew that going there. I'm gonna complain. So Yes. Oh, and one other thing that we wanted to talk about, Nizria came to visit us, and we got to spend a lot of time with her. And she talked about how, for the last couple, in Israel, they have like a complete, like a real complete Shabbat. Everything is quiet, everybody's home, they don't really come out and worship traditionally like how we do. But she, after having been living there for so many years, they were questioning her and asking her, why, because she's conceived both sides. And they were asking her, why were the children so different than how they thought our children were? But they didn't realize it. That's not exclusive to them. We have challenges here with our children too. But they don't really know, like, you can ask any of these kids parts of the Tanakh, and they didn't really know that. They don't know why they do things, she explained it. Ben-Ami wrote books, and they got stuff from his books, and they do things based on his teachings, but they don't really know that it came from, like, the Tanakh, and she felt like they thought they had options, like, oh, we did this, now maybe we can do it this way, but we don't have options like that. And she's been working for years to try to get an environment like this, a service where they would understand and learn how we do systematically how the Tanakh works and why we do things. And so we got to participate in, they're starting to do that. So we got to participate in a service on Shabbat, which the first part was what Kaziel talked about, where they had some readings and they had some explanations, similar to what we do here. And in the afternoon, they had like a mobile museum, which was amazing. At the very end, and this is what Tiki and I resonated with us, we held hands, and they, as the request to Cone Shake, they sang this song. You must have heard at the Friday night service, Shake? I don't know, did anybody tape it? No, we couldn't. You can't tape or take pictures on Shabbat. Right, we couldn't use our phones. When I tell you the chills, the voices and the chills that ran through you, people were like crying. It was unbelievable. Just to be able to say a prayer.
Kind of. I'm sorry to interject, but I mean, Shabbat Shalom. Y'all know I don't talk much. I'm pretty much sitting in my chair, but when it comes to the Holy Land, like I said, when it comes to the Holy Land, it's a whole nother level for me. On Shabbat, like Kenya said, we held hands and they sang the Hallelujah. It was a Hallelujah, but the way they sang it,
I know how to sing.
It was amazing. I can't even remember the tune. I broke down. I just started crying, holding hands. It was amazing.
Said cry for us.
All I wished for was to give everybody could have held hands and
But it was in rounds, like.
That was it.
And while they're repeating that, the Kohen is just doing a prayer. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Beautiful. About the fight, it was. Let me see. They used to call me Joe. Now they call me Batman. No, it wasn't a fight. She exaggerated that. Let me tell you what happened. This is the arrogance of the people. I don't know if he lived there or he just, was part of the Israeli Jewish descent. I'm walking. We were in high school. And I'm walking. All of a sudden, and I said, not even excuse me, sorry, and I pushed him back. The thing that really got me mad was, you don't push me back. Like, you can push me, but I can't push you. Oh, you got the wrong Levi. You got the wrong Levi. And his Isha saved his behind. But she was like, Slicha. And then I said, you tell him he better go on. Just keep walking. Because I don't play that. I mean, come on now. You're going to push me like that and then just, I mean, really, literally, just like, get out my way. I was like, oh,
where was I at?
And he learned that then. So it wasn't a fight. It was a little show.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? They are really in a panic.
It was arrogance.
Yeah, they're really in a panic because, I mean, like, here I am, innocent me, trying to
talk about it, Zakwe. Talk about it.
All I was trying to do was eat my chocolate. They had very high grade chocolate, and I love chocolate. And I got the fork right here, and this guy come up and says, "Is your mother Jewish? What does my mother have to do with my chocolate?" I said, "No, I'm a Judite. I'm from the house of Judah." "How do you know you're a Judite?" "Because my father's a Judite, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. You are a convert."
Right to his face.
"You came from the Caucasus region." Baby, I'm not going to say it. "You came from the Caucasus region. And the Khazars converted you to Judaism. Me, this is your religion. This is my heritage." And the guy haunted me for the rest of the trip. He either haunted me or he haunted Netanyahu. I mean, and every time he met us, he had questions. And then he says, "I know you are the people." He says, "The rabbis know that you are the people." He says, "These people here, they don't know who you are." But see, that's what God has given to us. When you were in that land, I told y'all, when I walked through the streets of Jerusalem, a shining crown came on my head. That's right, and your chest just, yeah, I belong here. See, y'all are only pretenders. You know, but see, I'm the really one who's supposed to be in there. And that's what you love about the land. Because the land gives you a whole different spirit. You feel everything in the land. I mean, like, when you went to the Wailing Wall, see, I didn't touch the upper part. That's the hair of lake. I touched the bottom part, the foundation stones. You know, and then when you see certain things in that land, you know that land is yours.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
See hands in the back of the coat, Leah.
So there also are Ethiopians, other people of melanated people there. So did you all encounter any Ethiopian Jews, and did you get to speak to them, and what was the difference? And do you feel like you were people were being rude because you're American, or was it because of your skin, color of your skin, or was it blanket type of racism, or what is it?
All of the above.
You want to? Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Your experience.
Well, Kyle, yeah, they all confused.
Torah, Shabbat Shalom. I actually made it my business to engage in a conversation with two Ethiopian brothers in Hebrew. That's the one thing, you have to learn your language. You gotta learn your language, and you'll be able to communicate better. So I saw these two brothers, because here's the history behind the Falashas, the Beta Israel, Operation Moses, Operation Solomon, that happened way back when. They actually got to Israel, and it was told to them, that they were not supposed to, or they are not supposed to engage or have any interactions with the kingdom, the brothers and sisters that are there in the kingdom. So naturally, if they see us dress with our culture and our fringes, they don't typically say anything to us. That's what the Jews, the Israelis, told them. That's what one of them told me. This was years ago. And it's documented, and all of the people that are there in Israel, they tell you this. They're not supposed to engage or interact with us. So while we were in, I think it was Eilat, with the boardwalk, right? I was able to speak with two of the brothers,
And I started speaking with him in Hebrew, and I wanted to know what's the big deal? Like, are y'all not supposed to speak to us? You know, we come from different places. And he said, no. He said, it's just how it is here. You know, he said, we can if we want to, but you know, we really are not supposed to. He said, but sometimes we give a little nod here and there, but usually we just stay to ourselves because that's how we were trained and that's how we were taught.
They scared of us coming together.
You know, for them, it's really a benefit to them because if they see our people coming in, you know, that's more of an alliance and more of a nation building. You know, the Israelis are the ones who are scared. You know, that all of these brothers that look alike and sisters is going to be a problem in their minds. But really, we're not there to cause any trouble. How many people came up to us and you heard it all day? Welcome back. Welcome home. You know, a guy actually told me, just like the guy, I think it was Nasir back in the 1950s, when he said, I will never respect the Israelis. You left here black and you came here, came back white.
Nasir
right? Nasir?
Nasir of Egypt, yeah.
So it was the same thing for me that somebody came to me and said, I know y'all are the people. He said, the real people are here, the black people. So they know. They know. So that was my experience, I coach.
My experience was with Ethiopians occurred about 3 years ago on my first trip, and all I can say is that they were ecstatic to see us. They were literally, I would run into men and they would just start smiling and couldn't stop smiling. There were, my one experience that always stands out because I love pizza. I went to a pizza shop and I was in line and I recall, you know, trying to figure out my money, how much it's going to cost, and I can hear the guy sharing with everyone in line, this is 12 shekels, 13 shekels, whatever the case may be. When I finally got to my turn to order a slice, I was like, no, for you, only 10 shekels. And I was like, wait, no, I have never experienced racism in my favor a higher price. And I'm sorry, I should have mentioned, it was an Ethiopian gentleman who was actually running the pizza shop. So my experience with our Ethiopian brothers over there has always been fantastic.
Coach Kenya?
I just wanted to say, be careful how you, about with the media, because they want to portray certain things, and I know it's a state of this high sense of security there because you see the military, they're very prevalent and everything, but you don't feel like that when you go there.
That's right.
I had to watch the news to remember that Syria, something was happening with Syria when we were over there, and I had to watch the news to remember it. So yeah, just be careful about how, you know, we have to really think about when we look at the news and what the media portrays and wants us to believe about certain things. Because you really felt relatively...
Should be a show.
No, Trump did something. It was something with the drone thing. I think that's what we was... but yeah, just, you know, the media portrays Israel so much differently and you're really there.
One other thing.
Zach Queen, Alba Kirby, and then on the way to Zach Queen Afternoon. Yeah, she has a mic, okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, cool me, Balaq.
Conveniently.
I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to have been able to go to Israel. Like Zaire said, it really made it to not come alive. And every part was my favorite part. Every place was beautiful. From like Haifa to Jericho to Jerusalem, Dimona, every place was just awesome. Shout out to Sarah and Madia for being welcoming and being hospitable and being our tour guide and showing us around and everything. That was pretty nice. I wasn't too keen on Egypt. I did get sick. And had a meltdown at breakfast when I found out we had to go back to the Sinai Peninsula with no police escort. I was just nervous about it, but y'all was with us, and we made it home on time. We made it to the airport on time and made it back home in one piece.
Hallelujah.
Special shout out to Uzia for doing everything he did to get us back home. I really appreciate that. I loved it. I can't wait to go back. It's a wonderful experience.
Was there an incident with you in Egypt where you felt a little fearful about the people there? I guess the way they looked at you or followed you when you left your hotel or something like that?
I don't know if I need the mic. I'm standing right by the camera. But, me and Maisha and Tikwa, we were leaving the hotel to try to find some mishteh. And we kind of forgot that it's haram. I'm not going to get in front of the camera. I kind of, forgot that it's haram, drinks in Egypt. So we started getting looks, and we were like, all right, let's turn back around. But I actually did get, somebody thought I looked like an Arab. He was like, are you from Egypt? And at the time, of course, I had my turban wrapped on. So he was like, you from Egypt? I'm like, no. He was like, you look like one of us, So that was an interesting little encounter that I had at that time.
Yes, Sakran?
Yeah, one thing, you can't believe what you see on the media, because they will always show you European Jews on the media. They will never show you that there was some indigenous of us, people who look just like us, who remained in the land ever since. When we went to the museum in Dimona, they had pictures of all of these brothers and sisters who were from the land. Right. But see, they'll never show you that on the media, because their thing is not to make you think or make you know that this is you. That's why they cut the Suez Canal. You understand? There used to be one stretch of land that went from Northeast Africa, Egypt, into Northeast Africa, which is Israel. So now when they cut the Suez Canal, they try to play in your mind that this is now the Asian continent and is separate from the African continent. But the idiots don't know that it's on the same tectonic plate. You understand? The thing about it is, but if you don't know, they could tell you anything. You understand? They could tell you that it's two different continents. But Israel is Northeast Africa. Right?
Break it down.
Can you hear me out?
My question is for Shabbat. My question is for Uzia. What was the experience like actually bringing this large number of people back to the Holy Land? Was it? I know it wasn't an easy task, but just how did you go about doing it, and do you see yourself doing in large numbers again in the future?
I like to sit in the back and listen to the experiences. That's the blessing for me. The work is the work. It's gonna be work. You gotta expect the work. That's one thing we have to understand, is that we're gonna, my security.
He doesn't want to get lost. You don't want to get lost again.
First and foremost, Toda Yah, for blessing everyone to travel safely and have a good time. Toda Yah for blessing me to have the spirit to want to see my family get home. This is what I enjoy, to see the people fed, from that experience, because it does come to life. It's amazing to see now Adon Yahniel, Queen Yahniel, the way he now is an enhancement to what he's already known. And that's the beautiful part about it for me. The crowd, oh man, Israel is Israel. They will get to you. But you know, that's it is what it is. Like I said, I don't. The frustration and all the challenges that come along with doing such a big trip, it's just a part of the process. And I will continue to do it. Y'all give me strength, y'all give me life. But it's not me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. It's just to get on a plane and go home instead of get on a plane and go somewhere else. That's it. I just showed you an opportunity of another option that you could take for vacation if that's what you want to see it as. But that's what it is. It's just getting on a plane and going home. You got a lot of options, you got a lot of means. Whatever you decide to do with your money is what you decide to do with your money. If you decide to go home and see home, that's what you want to do. I'll keep doing it as long as people want to keep asking me to take them. You know, but it's not me at all, it's by any means. It's just the Most High opening people's hearts, people's minds, and finally wanting to take a journey that the Most High is instilled in them. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn and we're here to grow, and that's just an extra added part of your growth. And so, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
We're late for, sorry.
Shabbat Shalom Lechem.
Shabbat Shalom.
For this opportunity. A lot that's happening with our youth traveling, much of our community traveling. Lots of doors are opening up. So, wanted to understand, in terms of how relations are with the Kingdom of Yah and Dimona. Like, there are two things that I know when I went to Israel stand out to folks. And they came here illegally, and they don't really keep the Torah. So why would you want to be affiliated with that? That makes it more hard for you. That's from the discussions I would have. Would you agree with those sentiments? And you would say, if we came there, yeah, we want to strengthen their community and things, but we want to distinguish the fact that, hey, there are different approaches here. We aren't just versed in one man's teachings and we don't know the Tanakh? Or would you say, no, we are in full solidarity. If you don't like what they're doing, you don't like me? Because you will look like them. If you're wearing a West African style clothing to the people around you, then it's like, okay, you're part of this group. How do I understand you? Are you an illegal alien or are you not? So that's from my conversations. I want to know what people's thoughts were, because I've never been to Dimona though. Yeah, what would be helpful? So again, to summarize, would it be helpful to say, yep, I am in full solidarity, I'm them, Kingdom of Yah, that's me, when I come to Israel? Or do I say, that's one approach, there are things that I agree with, things that I disagree with, but we do agree on a lot of basics when you're talking with someone who's outside of that community when you're in Israel?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is. Leadership or people yourself, you were there, of course?
Like Quinn Zadok, yes, perfect person.
All praises to Yah. I think it's a fantastic question. But I think what is even more fantastic is that Yah's doing the gathering and putting together. So I don't disassociate myself from the kingdom. The kingdom is playing a role, just like we're playing a role. They've been in the land for 50 years. Did you hear what I said? Some African nations have only been independent for 50 years. And so how they got those tours, the kingdom helped them with that. And so when I go to Israel, I stay in Dimona. However, I rent a car and I move around, do what I gotta do, and they look out for me. So they're all over the land. They're not just in Dimona, they're all over the entire land. Another thing that I want to make clear to everyone is a group called Midak. Midak is a group that was formulated by the kingdom that would bring together all the African families in Israel. What's been happening is, and I don't know if you saw a picture of Tyrone Webb and Rabbi Shlomo with the Kassim of the Ethiopian community. That's a first in many years since the Israeli government shipped them over to Israel. I heard it say earlier that the Israeli government separated the Ethiopians from the rest of the African Edenic people. That's a true statement. However, the kingdom has broke through those barriers and has been able to sit down and cause that stuff together. So personally, the kingdom, that's my family. The Ethiopians and anybody else that wants to serve y'all, look, we are diverse people. We're 12 sons that are diverse. Not to say that we got to formulate a strong bond with this brother because he keep JC. Guess what? Having that relationship with him will maybe bring JC out of his mindset. And so we got to consider everything that we doing. There's a lot of stuff that the kingdom did that some people say, I wouldn't have did it that way. But that was y'all motivating them to do that. And now, the kingdom, they realized, this is a statement that was made by one of the Nissi kings. His name was Nasib Elkanah. Before he passed, he said, I realized that the blessing coming into the Holy Land, we thought it was for us and our children. He said, we did this for a greater cause, for the whole nation. So it wasn't just about them. We think sometimes it's just about us, but Jehovah's got a whole nother plan.
That's right. That's right. You know.
Shabbat Shalom. I want to add to that. I'm going to say it in a way you would understand. You know the JCC, whether you're a reformist, whether you're a conservative, whether you are orthodox, all of them are part of the JCC. When they send those pamphlets to the war, to Israelis in the war, they do it as one group, one family. They don't all agree, but they're one family under the JCC. They're one family. That's how we have to start moving. We have to start moving like we're in solidarity, a united front. Because as long as the world keeps seeing us divided and separated for the scraps that we under, for the stupidness we find ourselves disagreeing about, they'll always be able to manipulate us and separate us and take advantage of us because we don't show a united front. You can never take advantage of any Jewish group in any community. You know why? Because they show a united front. Even the ones that aren't religious. As long as you were a Jew, your mother was a Jew, your grandmother was a Jew, it's a united front. That's how we have to start handling ourselves. And until we do that, they're going to keep taking advantage of us. If we don't show a solidarity with that community, they're going to have, because it's influence. That's what it is. You're going to see a million, like they said, when Malcolm X said, over and other people turn, it's too much power. They don't want us to have it. We have to think better than that. We have to be smarter than that. We have to be like, yes, we're with them. And then they be like, it's too much power. Let's fall back.
That's right.
That's how we have to be.
Let me show you this real quick. When you go into the land of Israel, if you ever got stopped and got questioned, as soon as you say Mona,
they let you go.
They let you go. It still happens today. If you go through certain peak seasons, they're gonna rush you through because they're trying to get people through. But go through the slow time, and they start asking you questions. Well, who you here to see? And you say, oh, I'm trying to do this and do that. And then you finally say, Ben Ami. They like right through. So it's about building those bonds and those relationships. And I'm telling you something. When all of that stuff happens, the power that we really have, the Jews won't even see it coming. God will knock it right out.
You know what I believe too? See, Israel is spread out all over because Most High wasn't jiving. When he says, I scattered you, we are scattered everywhere. So there's going to be Israel coming from all quarters, and we're going to be able to teach them certain things, and they're going to be able to teach us certain things. That's the only way we're going to come together as a unit. As we come together from all quarters and starting to learn certain things to put us on a higher level toward the Most High, that's when all of these things that we see are going to change, because the things that are happening in this country and all around the world, don't think we're just getting shot down in America. They are shooting us down all over the world, but that's just for us to see. That's right. That's for us to see that we have nowhere to turn. There's no way. Only way you can turn. See, when the Most High God said, I'll put you in a straight. And your straight is going to be straightened right back to him, because that's the only way we're going to be able to turn everything that's happening to us now. That's the only way we're going to be able to turn it around.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This has been a long question and answer period. But just from my personal experience going to Israel, traveling on a Guyanese passport is different from traveling on an American passport. So for me, I had to get a visa to go to Israel. Like myself, even to make it, we had to drive to Atlanta to get the visa there. When we got there, they took a few documents and gave me a whole long list of other requirements. I was like, oh my goodness. I already paid for this trip, what I'm gonna do, but you know, and they were so particular with me. I mean, they wanted to see all the hotels I was staying at. They wanted to see like my individual name on the e-ticket. It was like ridiculous like that. But I guess that's what it required, but at least they didn't reject me from the jump. Many Americans, those that even travel, not aware of the way so-called third world people are treated. Many of the family, I think that was the first time many of them got a visa in Egypt in their passport. Never saw a visa before, that was the first time. But if you travel on like Guyanese documentation, our pages are full of visas, because many places we got to get one. But going into Israel, flying in at night to Tel Aviv, my thoughts were, you know, I'm the first in my generation of my family to make it back into the land after thousands of years of being exiled. And that was a powerful thought that came upon me as looking down into the land. You know, hitting the ground, you know, Tel Aviv was just a city. People walking around just like Manhattan, whatever. So, but it was still in Israel. We were able to walk on the beach by the Mediterranean, just looking at the teenagers, just being teenagers. You know, I wasn't very vocal like that on the trip. I was just soaking everything up. It'll take me a while to unpack everything. But I think the next day we went to Haifa or Tiberias. It's one of the Haifa, right? It was beautiful to see the Baha'i gardens, whatever. You know, basically the whole land is laid out. The Mosai is so meticulous as usual in his planning to cause the Jew to go back to the land first so that he could build it up in that manner. That's right. I mean, it is well built up. The beautiful thing for me was, you know, okay, Jews, many times people knock the Jews, whatever, but those that are religious, whatever, they keep the Torah. You would see, like in the hotel rooms, every single door had a mezuzah. There was a Shabbat elevator. Yes. I mean, like, what? So you just got to go to the elevator, it opens, you're not touching the buttons. It's like, that's a level, you know, it may seem crazy to some people, but that's a level that they are desiring to keep the Torah. You understand? Yeah. Shabbat, we spend the Shabbat in the Mona. Oh. And I mean, like 2:33, shops are closing up. And I mean, no one is dressing in any cultural thing, ladies with the jeans on, whatever, but they're rolling their fridges into the store because it's Shabbat. Closed, no stores open whatsoever. You could feel the difference from one day to the next. And I heard like, after Shabbat, boom, everything becomes, you know, re-energized.
Lively, I can say.
My high point of the trip spiritually was the hotel, the Wailing Wall. You know, when I guess the founding fathers of the returning nation of Israel for us as identity Hebrews is, it started at the Black Power movement. So there was a great pro-black movement and everything was black and proud, whatever. So many people got caught up with the fact that this return was a black return as a color of the skin, but it's not. This is the return of righteousness to the planet. You understand? There's a level it is at. So when you go out and you walk around Israel and you see tzitzit like all over, you understand? Like you see the zikronim all over. You see people observing. You would not see pork like served and so on. You know, they don't eat meat and milk, so you would not see meat for breakfast. And you know, it's just those things that Torah institutionalized. That's the thing that appealed to me. So, going back to the hotel, you know, many people might see, and you know, the Jews are the Wailing Wall, and they say, oh, this is a Jewish thing. But for me, why it was the high point for me was the fact that every time we turn and we say our prayers, we're saying it to the word Jerusalem, to the temple. So for me, I was able to go there personally with my prayers. That's why it was so touching to me. All the years you praying towards this place, and there you were in person to say your prayers at that period of time. That's why it was the high point of my trip to be able to do that. I said my deepest and sincerest prayers there to the Most High, and one of the prayers that was answered from years ago, I prayed years ago, was for my Isha to truly love the land, and you heard her testimony that she truly loves the land, she wants to live, and that was my exact prayer. As you know, it's my future desire. So I pray that the Most High will continue to energize us with that spirit and desire to move around in the land of Israel. And you know, Hapuzia plays it down as though it's just, you know, something simple. But it is a good thing to see the son of a Kohen and the son of a Shaba, you know, from this generation taking the initiative to make it a reality. Because for years people were sitting in chairs and dreaming about Israel as though it was someplace in the heavens. As he said, jump on a plane. You have an American passport. You stamped, what, 6 months? That's it. Go into the land, it's right there, and he's made that a reality. That persons can go up and down the land of Israel. Our trip was very diverse in that not everyone on the trip was Israelite in practice. We had like 4 girls that were 3 girls and a girl. But at the end of the trip, they were saying Hebrew phrases. You know, it was amazing to see our Ishpeah on them, that influence that we had on them. You know, they were asking questions in and out just because of the way we carried ourselves. They wanted to know, what is this? Why have we probably never heard about this? You know, to see it actually functioning. You know, it was a beautiful thing, the Shabbat, how we were able to stop on the Shabbat, the discipline. You know, it was really powerful to them. I can remember being in Jerusalem and, you know, walking here and an Arab was coming and he was like, welcome home. You know, the way it was like powerful. This Arab telling me, welcome home, brother. They said it many times, welcome home, brother. And, you know, it's testimony that truly, you know, if you had any doubts that you are the people. People see it, they want you to have that spirit. They want to have that spirit back in the land of Israel. What Israel lacked in spirit, Egypt had in spirit, in terms of the Arabs being welcoming. I mean, the infrastructure is not the best, but they have that welcoming Eastern spirit. You know, they're more friendly and open, etc. Point shake me, I saw your hand.
No,
and then Doda.
No, speak out. Shabbat Shalom. I was going to say, to add to your point with the 4 ladies that were on the trip with us, you know, we definitely 3 ladies in the world. The influence that Moreh is speaking about, it was so true because they actually were there on the bus, because every time we set out to our, you know, our journey, our destination, we raised the ark, and they were there bowing their heads, and after a while they were saying shalom, and shalom, and so the influence, as I mentioned this morning, is so important, and I believe that this is something that's going to be with them for the rest of their lives, because even after the post messages and the post text messages, they were very, very, like, I appreciate everybody, and until we meet again, and you don't know how this nation is going to come together, perhaps, hopefully, they might change their mind and say, no, that's against the law. We can't be doing that, bro.
The guns.
And then, okay, can't do that.
I like to get out of jelly.
It wasn't that long ago, Moreh.
You got?
You forgot my name, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
When I was there a couple of years ago, We did like a round table talk at the end of our trip, and I just wanted to know if the people who went this time had did it, and if they did, how they felt, because when we did it, it just filled the end of the trip. I mean, I didn't get as emotional as some people did, but you felt it. You felt the spirit. You felt everything that they felt. So I just wanted to know if you did it on this trip.
No, we didn't do a round table talk. The trip ended in Egypt, and people were sick and ready to go home. But we didn't do a round table talk. No. I think on Shabbat we spoke a bit. I think. No, in the morning.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah, but we didn't do a round table trip talk on this trip. Our sister here, Magdiel.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Two things. First, a statement. I've been listening to Israel feedback from the last trip and this one, and it's great to hear it normalized because it was almost, I don't want to say taught, but it was almost understood that it wasn't up to us when we decide we want to go to Israel. Well, from my past experience before I came here, it was almost taught as the Most High will let us know when it's time for us to go.
And he let me know who's the other.
So what I'm saying is that was almost the feeling that I had. And when the first time everybody stood up, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and they spoke about when they went, and I was just sitting there going, like, okay, it's like you said, it was not, it's normalized. It's you can do that. It's not something that is out of your reach or you're waiting for a sign or permission to go. It was just taught differently. Everybody's perspective, it was taught differently, and I appreciate it because, you know, it makes you really want to go do that. It makes you want to see it. It makes you not worry, because I was a little worried about it. But before, and listening, the last time and listening this time, it normalizes it a lot. And the second thing is a question. I've always wondered, the Wailing Wall, what is the history behind it? I mean, you've always heard about it, but was it there from ancient times? Is it something that's modern? What's the story behind it?
Okay, you're going to speak about Amadiel's story on it? Anyone? Take a knife. Cointado.
Okay, I just forgot what.
No, before.
You want to say something else?
Well, yeah.
About normalizing
I'll
the
deal with
trip.
the Wailing Wall real quick. The Wailing Wall is actually a foundational wall from the time of the Temple of Solomon.
That's right.
It's not a wall that is stood up. It's the foundation, the foundational wall. They also said they found another wall, which is in a tunnel, that brings you to the wall of the Holy of Holies. How much of this is true? I don't know. However, there's even a discrepancy about whether that's where the Dome of the Rock is the Temple Mount, or if it's a little further down. So that's the story on that. When it comes to, I call it the report of Israel, that's why the Tanakh is so important. Because Moses sent 12 men into the Holy Land, and they came back, 10 of them with a bad report. I can't go to the Holy Land and come back and say, it's the devil. I can't do that. I think that what people are saying is true. And the more we go to the Holy Land, the more the reports are going to be the same. Everybody's going to say the same thing. So again, I'm thankful to Yah that the report is different. You're going to go from teacher to teacher. Somebody's going to say one thing, but the truth is the truth. That land is a beautiful land. Hallelujah.
Also, the Wailing Wall. If you go into the old city of Jerusalem, and I was explaining some of this to the people, the rocks are dated. So the larger rocks, the larger stones, are the older stones. And as it goes up, can you go back? I saw you had a picture up there. And as you go up, you see the stones get smaller and smaller and smaller. Those are the newer, more recent stones. So if you see the ones at the bottom, they're very large. They're huge. You remember when the Most High said it was a hewn rock, a rock that was not even used? Well, that was the first temple, actually. So, but that's those big rocks. You see those big stones? Those are the oldest stones. Now, in the second temple, and the reason why they pray at the wall is because they said when the temple was destroyed, this was the only remaining wall of the temple. And that's why they pray to this wall, is because they take it as some type of, thing that's the Most High allowed this to stand. And so they think that this is some way that if they pray at this rock, that their tefillah will go up to heaven faster or whatever. But that's what the wall is for. The wall is just the wall of the temple. We're in the old city. We know that, right? So the wall, even though they built it up higher with newer rocks, they're saying it's part of the original second temple.
Also, I had challenges going into Jordan, again with my Guyanese passport. The thing is, there's a list in the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Guyana of the countries that we can acquire a visa at their border. Jordan is one, Egypt is another. But the fact that, I don't know what the problem was. I don't think they ever saw a Guyanese passport. They didn't know what to do. They were very helpful, but they were just scurrying around like, what do we do, what do we do? And in the end, we said our prayer point, Shemuel, he's spraying everything. And, they give me the visa to go into Jordan. I didn't want to say what?
With stipulations. You had to be back before sundown.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I didn't want to be braggadocious and say, give me welcome for whatever, but before getting the Jordanian, to go into Jordan, I had to leave Israel, of course. And the fact that my Israeli visa had one entry, y'all are not familiar with visas, but you can have a visa and it can have multiple entries, meaning you can go in and out of the country, or you have one entry like I don't know why they give me that, but I didn't realize. So the lady said, you realize if you leave, you can't come back to Israel. I'm like, no. And we explained we were just going to Jordan for one day. And she said, you got to be back by 7:30 or you can't enter back into Israel. And then I went over on the Jordan side and it was another, situation with the passport. And then when we were going into Egypt as well, I had me and Apote Vinya with the Guyanese passports again, we had, special treatment to get our visas. But the trip for me was magnificent. Coming from the Guyana community, Queen Mikhail would always bring back like tapes of Dimona and Israel, just seeing video of the land or whatever. So to actually go there now, it was, it was surreal for me. It was truly a blessing, and to be able to share that experience with Maisha, of course. Because she had wanted me to go 2 years ago, I wasn't able to, but to share this experience with her was beautiful, like absolutely beautiful beyond words. I see a hand. Zahira, you have your hand up? Oh, okay. It was beautiful beyond words. I mean, I swam in as many bodies of water as I possibly could have swum. I didn't get to go in the Mediterranean because we arrived late in Tel Aviv. I see her. Arrived late in Tel Aviv, but the next morning I was able to play in the water. At least I touched the Mediterranean Sea. The Kinneret, that they call the Galilee, we swam in there. We did the Life Sea. We did the Red Sea. And we were just like, really, the Jordan, the fish, their fish would come and eat the dead skin off of your foot. It was tickling. I mean, I got a lot of dead skin, but I just had to leave. I didn't have all day. But it was just so beautiful, man. I mean, the island of Israel is beautiful. Make it your business. Just jump on a plane and go. Ken.
Briefly. Shabbat Shalom Lachem. Thank you all also for the answer to the hypothetical questions that I had raised. The last thing I wanted to just bring out is that if there is anyone who is interested in the whole process of Aliyah, if you didn't already know, then please come to me. I was just telling Uzia, you're bringing people there physically. I understand the legal processes. There are different approaches for different people. But just always read the first paragraph of Ezra, the sign of the end of the Babylonian captivity was Cyrus says, whoever the creators stirred up his heart to return to his land to build up the city of Jerusalem, you can go. That's pretty much the situation that we're in now. That was the sign. It wasn't, angels falling out of heaven. It's that you now have the freedom to move back and forth. Yeah. And this is the generation for it. And there are things you can do here in the land of America to create that paper trail. There's, once you kind of let that marinate for a year or two, then there are other things you can escalate. The process that you went to for a visa is the same process that we would go to for getting a dual citizenship, which is essentially you get a second passport. That means you are a dual citizen. You don't have to pay, you have to like enlist in the army or everything else. Once you have it right, then there's a profit, then you don't have to turn your life upside down. It's just that if I do want to move, then I can move and I don't have to rely on whatever America's policies are, because I have another country that can also claim me and I can go to their embassy if things fall apart. So we're here for you.
That's right. You have options. If anyone doesn't know, Aliyah is that you can return to you have the right to return to the land of Israel and to live as a citizen. Okay. If there are no other questions, yes, going Aliyah.
Shabbat Shalom. I would like to hear Dora Italia.
Yes.
I would like to hear Dora Italia give her respect.
Cohen Elliott. Like I said, I had a great time. I experienced a lot. I had gone to Israel twice before, but every time you go, you see something different. Just traveling from Israel, Jordan, to Egypt. It was just, I mean, you just can't explain. You have to see it. If I even explain to you all the mountains that you see, a lot of times when I've gone there before and you see the caves in the mountain, I think of David when he was hiding out from, it's just everything becomes so real. You can really see it. But all I can say, I just had a wonderful time. I had a back problem, but I carried my chair around and I didn't miss a step. But Most High is great. Like I said, I'm ready to go again.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, let's stand and sing a few songs before we have our final segment. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thanking Yah for all of the testimonies, for those who were able or blessed to live to see the land. Let us sing the song Baruch Hashem and even bless the name of the Holy One of Israel. The song Baruch Hashem. Well, it's up on the screen, so you'll be able to see it from there. Baruch Hashem Shel Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Shel Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Shel Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Shel Yahuwah. Blessed be the name of 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 Yahuwah. Uno Hallelujah. Let us sing Ha'azinali. It is no easy thing to be able to hear the testimony of so many going to the land of Israel. And I, just listening to them all, truly a wonderful thing. I don't know about you all, but Moreh going, he probably don't even know how happy I was for him to see the land. I may have been just as happy as he was. When he was there watching every picture, it just filled me up, because him being in Guyana, myself, him, Cohen Hodiah, you know, he being taught under my Bible time and time again, we would go over different scriptures, hear and see different things. When myself and Hodiah were able to go to the land, I just, you know, I always hoped and prayed and waited for that time that we could all be able to go. And to see Moreh there, man, I was just filled with so much joy, happiness, love, just to know that he was in the land, seeing everything. And I thank the Creator for blessing him and so many others to be able to make that trip. It's truly no easy thing. Uzi doing what he did, man. I spoke to him personally, but it's no light thing. We really need to continue to give him motivation, strength to do what he's doing, because the Creator's blessed him with a task that's no light task. And to be able to take so many to the land of Israel is no easy thing to do. The Creator continues to hear our prayers, continues to answer our prayers. And we pray that even in singing this song, Ha'azin Ali, that y'all continue to give ear to our cry as we pray to him time and time again. May he be there for us. Hallelujah. Ha'azin Ali, Ani Aveka, Ani Omer, Ole Paleka, Ka'asherani, Matish Me'ayeh, Ole Ra'ele, Ka'el Yahovah. Tadi Geborka, Katma Toraka, Iye Kakamu, Rotelemodbo, Shemu Akali, Weko Mishpati, Masihu Mego, Berota Shalom. Dino Teleken, Dino Temayem, Matila, Bokol Hazman, Veleka Olam, Borei Haaretz, Umoshienu, Shemo Yahovah.
It's game time. All right. So I prepared a Hebrew game. What I did not want was it to be the males against the females. I did not want it to be like that.
That's the best rivalry there is.
But because of time, I don't have time to do the whole switching, so it has to be that way. All right. So as it is on the projector screen, the blue will be the points for the males, the red for the females. Disclaimer. This is just for fun. I know that is went out the window because you don't know how to play for fun when points are involved, etc.
You got trophies, man. You got a trophy already. You got 2 trophies.
The aim of the game is to help you to remember Hebrew words. Okay, that's the aim of the game. So we have buzzers. So we'll have persons on either side. I will put, let me see if I can turn this probably differently. But we'll have pictures on the wall and you will press it and you will see what it is. Of course, whoever goes first, I mean we might need a referee or two. I mean, I don't know how this is going to angle to see the, someone help me to angle it so we can see the picture better.
Yeah, just have him face the screen. Just have him face this way. This way. Like cat a corner. No more. Yeah. So maybe perhaps like this.
Okay, so everybody.
Maybe like that might work.
That'll be good. Just don't kick each other.
I don't like that.
No.
Whatever.
Everybody like this. No. They see everybody and they can see.
All right. I would just like for Mr. Rez Yaakov and Queen Shemuel to come up as the first. No, we're just testing it out here.
Oh, okay.
Just to see how it works.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess. So we're actually asking Mazot, what's this? I'm not going to ask him, just show the pictures. Okay? Wait, what? Take your hands off of the table. This is just to show them how real. You see what I have to deal with? Okay, so I'm going to pop the first picture on, and you press the buzzer and say what it is. Mr. Rich, you ready? All right. Hands on the table. All right.
Oath or town of Golden.
All right. So and we would confirm it. There it is. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that is the game. So you have the males and the females. So amongst yourselves, you can select. I think we have like.
Don't show the pictures now.
Quite a few opportunities to do that.
Don't show them the pictures.
So the first two, please step up. All right, first two, step up.
Naftali, come on, Naftali. Naftali, come on. Naftali. Somebody from the sisterhood.
Sisterhood, represent. Someone, Balaq Afternoon. Come on. Yes. Everybody's ready? Okay. You gotta see that. That's right. Remember, it's to remember the Hebrew words. So if you did not know, the word is tarnagolet or oath, because oath is bird. Basically, it's rather use the word oath more than tarnagolet. All right, next one. Ayin. All right, next two.
Come on, brotherhood.
That's how easy it is? There you go.
Oh, one new young boy. One new young daughter.
Come on. What's going on here?
They ain't got no heart.
Stop threatening him, come on. All right. Let's go. Perception, what do you see?
A city.
See? No, basically, I'll give you the English as a city. So.
City.
Yeah. Sleep guy?
No, she's a lifeline. She said that. She got it.
But you looked at Tavel. So squash that. Todoraba here. Yes. Okay, here. Here is city. So no one gets that right. So we know the Hebrew word for city is here. So here. Next to
Kasi!
yeah. Ready?
On my head, you gotta. There's a hit. There's too much going on in that picture.
These are not a flock of sheep, these are... Right. What do you see?
Oh. Hit the buzzer, hit the buzzer.
Tell them what it is.
In English, it's people. In Hebrew, it is...
Go ahead, Kasi. Go ahead, Kasi.
No,
Let's go, Kasi.
All right. Now we are introducing lifeline. And for the lifeline, when I say lifeline, you can jump up on either side. Whoever says it first gets it.
No way.
All right? Yes way.
Oh, that's too much.
Lifeline.
I mean.
I did not hear you. I didn't hear you. All right, sister two, brother,
This is gonna get chaotic. People can just jump up.
Brotherhood. All right, next two persons. All right. Ready? Look at the board.
Yes, good.
What's it? You? Oh my goodness. No, help me. Yes, you hit it first.
Go ahead.
8, right.
Let's go.
So Kenya to be so gracious.
That's gonna be the point.
Remember, we're just here to learn the Hebrew words.
Let's go, real.
All right.
Let's go.
No. Good try.
That's right. That's a funny one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. You gotta be able to say because it's a Order.
But it's from your mouth. If you argue with me, I'll take a point away. All right, send someone else.
Come on, Makai. Come on here, bro. You got this. You got this. Just one word. You could do it.
All right, here we go. Pay attention. All right, pay attention.
Malka?
No.
Queen?
No.
Naqueva? Woman? Yafa? Beautiful?
You gotta tell us what it is.
A woman?
It is a woman.
A queen? Isha?
That's not the word.
Oh my gosh. Queen?
Lifeline.
Queen? A Isha?
What is the We're looking at parts of the body.
Hit it, face.
Hit it. No, Sika.
No. Panim. Okay.
Too much going on in that picture. Is it a necklace? Is it a headpiece?
Alright, this one is super easy. Next two.
Gearing to real.
Alright, sister, come quickly.
No, the word.
No, that's the word for faith.
That's the word for
Panim. Yeah, it's a plural word. Alright, next. Ready? Pay attention.
Oh, come on now. That's the easy one. That's the easy one.
Hit the buzzer.
Stand by for the lifeline.
You shouldn't have said.
Do you not know what standby means? I said standby for the lifeline. No one wins, Roche. Okay? I said standby for the lifeline.
That's not spelled right. That didn't even spell right.
No, it's on the lifeline. This one is super easy. Alright, pay attention. Alright, come on. Everyone ready? Alright. Sleep out?
No.
I'll give it to you. It's reggae. Okay.
Top reggae.
Reggae, foot.
That's supposed to be cop reggae.
And yes, a lot of us who pronounce words incorrectly is reggae, not reggae. Okay? Reggae. Alright, I'll give it. Next two. Ezra, let's arms on equal. Alright. Young ladies, quieten down. If you want to speak, come up here.
Survive going up.
Alright, come on.
You was in class. You were in class.
This one, man.
Go up here, survive.
Alright, here we go.
Nice. I like it.
No.
You now look at the sun? Shemai? Oh. Shemai?
No.
What is it? Clouds? Sunset? Nice.
Field. That's what it is. It's a field.
No. Someone said it, but no.
Evening.
Lifeline. No.
No, it's a field.
It's a field in Hebrew.
Oh, Sadeh.
I let that one go, no one won that. Sadeh. Okay, next two.
Goes off.
Right. Ready?
Yes, go.
Don't call the words out.
What is it?
Lifeline.
Anan.
Shemayim. These women are winning, but it's not about the game. Take your hand off. Take your hand off. All right, here we go.
Get it, come on.
Go ahead and do it.
Don't give her no chance.
Let me hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Moving along, come on. Almost done.
Moreh, you gave me
Let's go, Cosgrove.
a
Please stop touching the buzzer, thank you. Ready?
You know that, Kaziel.
Don't be looking like out.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You know this.
You gotta push the buzzer. Hit the buzzer and just call one.
No.
You remember that, but you don't remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Y'all good? Pay attention.
Hit the button. You got caught sleeping at the wheel, man. Got caught sleeping at the wheel.
I give her. All right. Let Barbara lay it hard. Next two, come on. One of the aims is to give persons confidence in the language. Stop being afraid of the language. You make a mistake and so you learn. All right, here we go.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
One Michigan, go try.
Very good. That's a good try, though.
Think about what it is.
Lifeline. No.
Miss Bear.
Come on here, Naftali.
Miss Bear. Okay, brother Tennis. You can miss Bear. All right, next two. Ready? Get that hand. Move that hand.
I thought it was the same time. Same time.
All right.
Hey, I was ready. That was close now.
Final slide. All right. Ready?
Oh.
go. Yeah, but what kind of heat? Okay, both of them said at the same time, so I will give them that point together. So it's Melech. So the final score is 9. Okay, we turn to the stage. All right, so the final session. What I want to do is the reading and translation. This is a story. The name of it is Hanahar Hakaf, the boy in the spoon. Okay, so I think you can distinguish the period points. So I have person standing and reading. Stand and read it, and we'll translate together. So the first person is reading up to the word Lishon. Okay? Let's go.
Anybody just stand up.
Who wants to read first? As a hero.
Balaq Yosef Hakwatan al Mitato Lishon. Okay?
Yes, Todoraba. Anyone translate?
About the bed.
Okay, told me something about the bed, and many times we hear the language and you try to get every word. She got the main idea is about the bed. So it says, okay, young Yosef. Which other word you recognize? What's that?
Okay, I got it.
Ba'alot.
I got it. I want to say Yosef. Balaq, I'm thinking to like Raz. So Raz, Hakatan is small. So Yosef rose or got up from this small bed from sleeping.
We're close enough. You gotta switch around certain things.
No, I was going to say Balaq Yosef Hakwatan, young Yosef, rose up out of his bed to sleep.
It's like Balaq, while as little Yosef got up on his bed,
Right.
you said.
Right. So basically, he's shown to sleep. So basically, young Yosef, he is going into his bed to sleep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next reader from the male side, Ken Aaron. You're reading up to Lachar. Vayasem Lachar. And the one of the exercises in reading is intonation. I want to hear you say it as though it's a story, because many times we come to read Ivrit and we just saying the words, but I want to hear the intonations in it. So he says, Lachar ito haf vayasem otam mitachat lachar. So translation. He put the spoon. It says under lachar. Mamuvan car or karit. Ken. So little Yosef went into his bed, and under his pillow he put his spoon.
Okay.
All right. Car. Ken. Next reader, female side. Tigravia. You're reading up to Laka. Reading up to Laka here. Reading up to here. From here to here. Avio.
Teka. Ra'a. Zod. Vayisrael. Vayisha'al. Oto. Lama. Oka.
Laka.
Laka.
Finish the thought. Continue here.
Yoma. Nes.
This is Sameh.
Kavi.
Kavivi.
Habibi.
Yeah, Toda Rabah.
All right, I think I got it, Moreh.
All right, let me hear you.
All right, cool. All right, so so my father saw this.
His father.
Or his father saw this with Yish'al, and he asked, told him, Lama Lacha, why do you do? Or why are you doing this? Yosef
Kaviva, my Hashem shall Kaviva, like beloved.
Also, why do you do this, my love, or my son?
Yosef, my beloved. Told me, yo. Next reader, me inside. Melech, Toda.
It's why do you have?
Kid, why do you have?
Why do you have? Here you'll say. The finishing statement.
Hakaf hazot balayla.
Right, so he's at, right. Hakaf hazot balayla. Why do you have this phone at night? Continue. Here, yes.
Wayan ha na'ar wayamar.
Tomshi.
Oh. Balayla she'avar kalamti. Wahina ma'a kalim. Ma'a kalim.
Ma'a kalim, ken.
Oh. Tovim lefanai. Ak. Lo. Haita li. Kaf la'ed. Kol. Makam. Sika mehan. Mahem.
Mayhem, good. Stop there.
All right.
Translation.
Okay. Moreh. And the young boy answered, and he said, the night from before, the night that was past, I dreamed, and behold, good food before me, but I did not have, well, there was not to me a spoon to eat from it.
Good.
Nice. Excellent.
Right. Next reader, and this will be the final reader. One more reader, female side. Ken.
Well, we la ken la kwak ti ata at.
Yes.
Oh, et. Haka la akol. Le eko ba ma ha. Oh, me. Akali. Kahem. Balayla Hazeh.
Told me all. All right. Translation. Welachin. The word lachin is therefore. You can say it therefore. All right. Who's translating? Welachin la kwakti. I took, Ata.
Well, that's it.
Ata. Look at the spelling. Ata. Remember, if it's aleph, it's you. If it's ayin, it's now. And I took it now.
Okay. The spoon.
Et hakaf.
The spoon.
Le'ekol ba.
To eat and.
Me kalim hahim. To eat the food. This the food that is there, right, the food that is there.
Those foods.
Right. Right.
Those foods.
The foods, Balaq is there. Right. So that's a story, and that's another way that you can improve your Hebrew, get short stories like this. Just like English, and you read it and you understand the way they form sentences, and that's how your language improves. So they're about your participation. Toda for welcoming me back in the community. I'm just joking. Thank you all for a beautiful Holy Shabbat day. Kumu Vakusha. You know, it was one of the ways the language helped me in Israel. I was listening a lot. So when I was coming back from Jordan to Israel, you know, I showed my passport and the border patrol, control, whatever, you know, two of them were talking, and she looked at it like, "Hey, Jose." I looked at her. I was so wanted to respond, but I just listened and played dumb. She was asking like, "Where is this?" Like, the country my passport is from. But it's good. I was able to listen to their conversations, and they did not know I knew what they were saying. And that is why don't talk about people thinking it, they don't understand. That's right. That's right. All right. So let's say our congregational even pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sacrifices and meat offerings are not found in our hands. Father of mercy, yet thy law standeth firm. Accept the words of our lips and the murmurs of our hearts. Receive our praise in mercy and in favor. Grant us joy and gladness. Comfort thy people. Your answer be the day of trouble. The name of the power of Israel set thee upon high. Throw us not away, Yahweh, with the wicked, for our delight is in thy word. Let thy word heal us and cause us to prosper. Cause thy wisdom to blanket Israel. Let the visions of the righteous be our lot. Yea, even the dreams of our redeemed, our good fortune. Draw us with the cords of love, and let our orders be true. Into thy hand I commit my spirit. All praise unto thee, O Yah. We have thought of thy loving kindness. We rejoice in the house of Yah. Come behold the works of Yah and rejoice in the same. For he has rescued his people, Israel. He has called forth the spurs of Yaakov. He caused righteousness to stand where calamity was. For such is our power forever and ever. He will be our God henceforth eternity. Sing his praises aloud. Hallelujah. Shema. Shema. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Melech haolam, Moreh haaretz, Elohe Abotenu, Elohe Abraham, Yitzchak uYisrael. והפחד של דוד המלך בימים שלו. על ערב הזה אנחנו שמחים מאוד להיות לפני כיסאך, ללכת בשבוע הבא בכנסת שלך, פה בשרלוט. יהוה זבאות, תקבל עצמנו לפני כיסאך, מלך העולם. תקבל תפילותינו, מלך העולם, וכל דברים טובים אנחנו משתדלים לעשות לפני אותך בשבוע. Yehovah Zevaot, Tia him kol hasquini we hasquinot. Melech Olam Tia tam kasher yesh lakem ko beguftehem ותירפא אותם למען שמך. תעשה גם לעמים בבית הסוהרים, יהוה זבעות, פינות העולם. תירפאהם. יהוה זבעות, תדרור לעמים, אנשים מלך העולם בבית הסוהרים, פינות העולם. כשהם קוראים על שמך, יהוה זבעות. ויהוה זבעות תהיה עם כל בית ישראל, תהיה עם המשפחה בדימונה, יהוה זבעות. תמשיך לגדול אותם, ותמשיך יהוה זבעות לתת הם אומץ לב לעשות עבודה של כך שם. יהוה זבעות תהיה עם כל בית ישראל מכל ארץ עדן, ועם הגויים, יהוה זבעות, איפה ישראל ואיפה העמים שרוצים לעשות תורתך. ויהוה זבעות באיים קריביים גם באמריקאי ואמריקאי הדרום וצפון גם יהוה זבעות. באמריקאי וירקוי בהם יהוה זבעות, תהיה עם כל בית ישראל פינות העולם וכל העמים זריקויים. יהוה זבעות, תודה רבה לכל משפחותינו, ויהוה זבעות תתנו הכל אנחנו זורקים. תודה יהוה זבעות, כי יום יומי יש לנו מזון ומים ומיץ לשתות. תודה יהוה זבעות. יש לנו עבודה יהוה זבעות, איפה אנחנו יכולים לקלקל משפחותינו. תודה יהוה זבעות. יש לנו אהבה בבית שלנו. יהוה זבעות, יש לנו חכמה דעת ובינה. יש לנו יהוה זבעות סבלנות וסובלנות. תודה יהוה זבעות לילדים שלנו. תודה יהוה זבעות לכל דברים עשית לעמך ישראל. ויהוה זבעות אנחנו יודעים, רק אתה טמא עוד בעולם, לכן שברנו תורתך. סלח לנו יהוה זבעות ועבדתנו בימים שלהם, ותתנו הזדמנות אחר בשבוע הזה לעשות יותר טוב בחיים שלנו. תודה יהוה זבעות בשביל הכל, ויהוה זבעות לעולם ועד אנחנו נשתחווה רק לפני אותך. תודה כי יכלנו ללכת לארץ ישראל, לארץ ג'ורדן, יהוה זבעות לארץ מצרים, ואנחנו יכולים לשוב לבית שלנו בתחתיך. תודה יהוה זבעות לרחמך ולעולם ועד אנחנו נשתחווה רק לפני אותך, כי אנחנו יודעים אין אצלך, אין שווה אותך, רק אתה אלוהים ואין עוד. הללויה. ברוך יהוה בבוקר, ברוך יהוה בצהריים, ברוך יהוה בערב, ברוך יהוה בלילה, ברוך יהוה יום יום וברוך יהוה תמיד. יהוה אלוהינו בבקשה לשלוח לנו לכל דברים רעים שעשינו לפניך יום יום, ולהיות עמנו כל הלילה הזה למען שמך יהוה, אלוהי אברהם, יצחק וישראל, אלוהי אבותינו ואלי, לשמוע בכל עינה אם תרצה אותך למען שמך יהוה. נהלליה, 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 יוחד, יוחד, יוחד. O Shema Yisrael, Yahovah Eloheinu, Yahovah Eloheinu, Yahovah Eloheinu, O Shema Yisrael, Yahovah Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Yahovah
May the power of this universe bless each and every one of you according to the words of this blessing found in Numbers, the 6th chapter and the 24th verse. Yivarek ka Yehoah Yishmareka. Yair Yehoah Panayo Eleka Wikuneka. Yisa Yehoah Panayo Eleka Wiasimleka. Shalom. Yehoah bless thee and keep thee. Yehoah cause his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yehoah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Hallelujah.